Okay, good morning, guys. We don't have too much to look at today, just a couple things. $6 offering dumped all the way from 12. That might be something worth watching. There might be some playable action there. Let's take a look at ADTX. It's definitely dumping. That's for sure. Yeah, Sun's looking, it's on good support here. Well, decent support. I wouldn't say it's great support by any means, but looks like it's on okay support here. So this might be a good place to buy in right at 25 cents. KNW we can take a look at. I don't know if this will be completely playable, but maybe we'll check again in a bit. KNW does look pretty playable. Have to watch what that looks like on open. Stuff doesn't look like it loaded in properly. Okay, or at all. Let's take a look again. KNW. Okay, just not getting that pre-market stuff. That's okay. CLEW is looking good. We've got a good range here going from 94 cents to $1.26. We've got AAOI, which I hope we don't have to play because that's going to be really annoying to say, but it isn't a major downtrend, so I don't know if we'll be touching it unless it's got a really good recovery here. We've got SQFT, which isn't Square Soft or anything. It's Presidio Property Trust. That makes sense. Anyways, we're going from a low here of $1.72 with a high of 2.49, so there's a decent range, although it is kind of just gapping down a little bit, not really showing us too much, so it's not looking great. SJ's looking okay. Didn't really do anything earlier today, but it's starting to pick up a little bit here, going from around 15 or 514 there to 598, so an okay range. Sun's also looking pretty good, and I think that's going to be something we're going to end up actually playing here. And then we got KNW, which is looking okay as well. It's taking a little bit of a drop here, but I'm sure it'll probably pick up on open. So right now we're looking to probably open up a Sun trade. Um, so when the market opens here, Sun trade, we're going to try to get it around 25 cents. But we need to be a little careful we don't drop through that because there's a little bit too much room here. That's 24, so we'd have to give it a 23-cent stop. We could do that. We could go 0.25. We're going to go try for a 0.30 and then a point, maybe just a 0.23 stop. We'll give it that 2 cents we want. And that should give it plenty of room. So hopefully that's the case. Market's opening up. Let's see what happens with that. CLEW is starting it to run as well. So we want to make sure we're in on CLEW as well. We're going to try to get in around $1.18. Go per dollar. Go for $1.30 there, and then a dollar, probably $1.14 stop. I actually had the ledger loaded today, which is nice. CLE's already at $1.30. Looks like it's going a little nuts here. I jumped in like very high on that, so I'm actually going to cut some here. Some profit on CLEW jumped in too high. Like real high, like I got $1.25, and I definitely should not have done that. So take the quick win on that. We'll move on and see if we can get a better entry down there at $1.18. And as far as Sun goes, we're at 25 cents right now, which is kind of where we were looking to get in. But let's see. Let's see how it goes here. It's looking pretty decent. Nice price action. Let's hope that holds and continues going up. So CLEW got down to about 122, 121. That's not a bad place to jump in, but I think we can get it a little lower here. Yeah, 121. Might bounce off VWAP here, so that might be the lowest we get. Sharp MACD, that's for sure. All right, we're looking at AAOI, not doing anything. Squaresoft, that's not Squaresoft, but I'm going to call it that anyway, not doing anything. We got SJ heading straight down. KNW here. Looks like it's starting to curl up. That whole, like, not having that pre-market line really messes me up. But it's looking okay so far. We've got a nice increase in volume. Just need a little bit bullish candle. It's pretty bearish looking so far. CLEW is at 118 here, hit 117, so that's probably going to be the area we want to try to get in on. And then we're going to leave that and hopefully see a bounce off the support area here at 116. And if we don't, then we just let it go. Summit all the way up to 26 cents, which is, you know, not exactly where we want to be quite yet, but I'm sure we'll get to that 130, or 30 cents, not 130, fairly soon. CLE, oh, yes, I do. CLEU, not W. Yeah, it's definitely U, not W. It's because in my head I sounded like clue with a W, even though it's not. Not that at all. So don't listen to me. Well, listen to me, but don't. You know? KNW is dropping. So probably gonna leave that alone for now because we can't really... Might have some support here around this 280 level. Besides that, I think we're looking down here a little bit more, probably a 260. SJ's halted down, yep. Looks like a pretty good, maybe we might see a bounce off that 200 EMA. We got CLEU heading up pretty good here. We're at 123, 124 area from 117. That's actually not that bad. We could look at taking some profits here. Taking some profits, CLEU, about 125. Might get a little bit more. 125.50. That's right at that area of support, so that's a good place to take some profits. Okay, we broke to 127, almost 128. We can take profits anywhere here. We're at like 3 cents profit on this, so at 128 it's looking pretty good. Taking some profits on some 0.28. I think I said 128 again. My brain's just not on, but hopefully you guys know I meant just 0.28. We're not waiting a whole dollar to take some profits on this. Would be nice though. CLEU. Caught myself there. I am saying that. That's weird. It's coming back down a little bit here. Probably going to bounce off that VWAP and head back up. We've got KNW here. Not really doing a whole lot. Anything new popping up? HDSN is popping up. So what do we... This one's not moving, so let's go HDSN. Price range is pretty slim, so I don't think we'll be playing that. Bull, not really doing anything, and price range is not there. We've got GoGo. $12 again, no price range. It's gonna be a really sad day. Perez not doing anything. We've got SJ down here. What else we got going on? IPAX. That's probably it. Yeah, IPAX got nothing going on either. So I guess we're kind of stuck with what we got right now. CLEU down to that 118 area again. It could be a re-entry. We did break negative on the MACD this time, so I'm going to leave it alone. Sun breaks that 28 mark, 0.28 mark. So likely we'll see a little bit of a dip here, maybe back down to 0.26. I'm going to wait and see if CLEU holds here. We aren't super overextended on the MACD yet, so I think it could drop more. Gonna have to wait and see. It's gonna be a slow day. KNW with this dip. Yeah, see, we're hitting that 280 support area. So we'll see if it holds here. We need to see that MACD start to move back up. I'm not completely convinced 280 is going to be the support area that we hold on. Might be 260. Sun's still sitting around that 0.28. And CLEU still dropping, so we aren't at that support area yet. We're hitting that 116 area. Let's see if it holds here. Now we're getting a little overextended on that MACD, so should start to think about turning around here. Almost 0.29. Just a little bit further. So close. 0.30 is going to be a hard resistance to get through, so we'll take out a larger portion there. 0.29 is not bad. We could take out a little bit more here. Remember, every cent is like 3% here, so we want to make sure we're scaling out as we're going up. We're halfway up, 0.29. Come on, 0.30. Be great if we just broke 0.30 and hit like 0.35. There's 0.30 right there. That's PT. PT on Sun. CLU continues to drop here, so we're breaking through areas of support. It's continuing down. We're hitting a stop on our runner. Probably going to continue down. We might probably take a play at that 200 EMA. I think that's around the range that we're going to find the best support for this stock. So if it is going to hold somewhere, it's going to be there. So we're going to go CLEU. We're going to look for $1.11, maybe even $1.10, you could say. We're going to go for $1.20. $1.25 is really far away. Let's go $1.20. Maybe we'll just see how high we can get this. And then $1.06 stock. So we're going to give it 4 cents. So that should be good right there. If you have to get in a little higher, it's not the end of the world. As long as you can get your stop loss below that 200 EMA, at least by a little bit, like $1.08 would be good. Most of our trades today are already on CLEU. So remember, you're giving it about 4 cents. I wouldn't really consider giving it more than 4 cents. Sun back down after getting rejected hard on that 0.30 mark, so it's a good thing we took most of it out there. 0.25 is where we probably want to consider getting back in, so let's go Sun again. 0.25. I'm just going with the volatility here because we don't know when we're going to get something better. 0.30 again. And I guess a 0.23 stop out. We have very few options today, and I'm not expecting the market to stay good for very long, so we're going to make sure that we're taking profits pretty much everywhere we can find them until we're out of it, and then we'll just kind of sit on our hands and go from there. Clue turning around on this 113. So hopefully you got in around 113 then. It is on its way up. So if you're still waiting, I would suggest probably thinking about jumping in if you did want to get in on this one. I think it's more than likely going to leave you behind. Yep. It may be a day for shorting. Yeah. I don't have scanner set up for shorting, unfortunately, but... Am I in Clue? Yes. Yes, I am. And I'm also in Sun. So we got a full one in Sun and a full one in Clue. That's about it, though. I'm not seeing anything else that's even remotely worth playing. So I think we're good to sit here on this for a little while. AAOI might be a decent short. I'm not sure if shorts are available on it. I don't really want to resort to shorting. I'd rather just have a slow day than do that. We're at Clue 113. Got it at the bottom. 113.59. Up to 118 currently, so we're not doing too bad. We're up about 5 cents. That's not too bad from where we're at. We could think about taking some profits there. Taking some profits on Clue 118. Around 118. If you get a cent lower or a cent more, it's all fairly relative. There's 118 there. It's looking pretty bullish, so I expect this to go up at least a little bit more. There's 119. Sun dropping a little bit further here. So we're hitting this 200 EMA. If it doesn't hold to this 200 EMA, we'll likely cut, but we'll see. We just have to break through that VWAP and we'll be looking pretty good. That's 120 right there. Is PT. JS is just red, yeah. It is literally just going straight down the toilet today. It's a good thing we caught Sun because that's like half of our profits, maybe even more at this point. Where did we take that from? What was that Sun trade? 0.25 to 0.29, so that's not bad. Or 0.30, I guess. I averaged out around 0.29, so I probably could have held a little bit and not taken so much at 0.29 to begin with, but that's okay. Yeah, that's true. Unless it's like it's either it's gonna die really fast or it's just gonna run the whole time. No has also been literally just red. It's falling through support after support after support. It looks like it's found some support around that 230 area. That would make a little bit of sense. I think it could still drop a little bit more. You might be like at 220, but I don't know. We could try a no play. Not really too sure about that. Small today. You know what? Small is okay. Small green is definitely not a bad thing today. I actually reloaded my scanner like 4 times. I'm like, nah, it's got to be broken. There's no way we have like 3 things to look at. Yeah. Yeah, I think no is going to start to head back up from here, so we could probably try no play. K and W. Hopefully around 240-ish we can get in. I'm going to be looking at probably a 285 PT and then like a 230. Yeah, see, like these candles are ranging pretty darn good. That's a very bearish candle, so if we wait a little bit longer, we might get lower than 240 here, but I think I'll put out the alert. But like it's hard to say where to get in on exactly on this one. I feel like you can get stopped out pretty easily on it. Sun is dropping a little bit further than I would like. You could take this as a cut if you want to. Clue breaks through 122 just touching or just barely touching 123. Nose on its way up. So if you're going to jump in, I guess you're just going to have to use a little bit of tact with it, try to get in at a decent price. It's kind of hard to say. Here's switch over to futures. What's ES doing? Yeah, it's looking okay. Sun hitting lows here. Clue looking like it's trying to push for that 123 again. There we go. There's that no dump we were hoping for. We're almost at that 230 area. That makes me a little bit more comfortable. So honestly, ANW around 230. So 220 SL. That's what we're gonna do. Yeah, that's a big stop. It's probably about a 5% stop, but it does need that room, and we can make that back on the upside if it continues up. But again, we're hoping and risking that it's not going to drop down to this 220 level. So we'll have to wait and see. I guess could be something that makes us a little flat for the day. Futures are probably a little bit more fun today. You can go ahead and take some out at 240 if you got in at 230. Just because, I mean, being up 10 cents is okay on this. Sun back up. We've got clue down to that 116 area. We might come for an even further dip down to that 113 area, which is something we can look at to buy back in. Getting there, getting there. So we're probably going to go clue, try for 111. I'm going to go for 121 and then a 1. What do we have? 106. We'll give it 108. Sell. I don't know why I typed in SL that time because that's just going to pop up as a comment. In any case, though, it looks like it's recovered quite a bit here. So it's not doing too bad. Drop down to that 113 area again. I say 111, but I don't know if we'll ever get 111. It just makes me a little bit more, especially right now, because we have that line here. Everything's at like that 112 area, or just above that one, or below that 112 area. So it'd be a very high 111 if you got it. KNW, I did, yes. I got in, scalped for 10 cents, and it looks like I'm stopping out on the remainder here. So it was a quick one. I mean, this could be another good area to jump in. 120. What are we looking at here for 120? There's not a lot of room below, right? So I'm thinking 120 is probably another decent place to jump in and see if we can make something happen. KNW 120, 145. Or sorry, 220, not 120. 220, 245. Probably just like a 210 stop. And we're aiming to take this small scalp. You know, if we get 10 cents on it, we'll take quite a bit out at that 10-cent mark because we don't really know what's going to happen with no. So you do need to be a little bit careful with that. Don't want to be risking too much, but I know we're risking a fairly large stop loss, so we want to make sure we're taking profits quickly as well. There is no hot stock today. No, there isn't. Everything's kind of, there's not everything. There's like two things that are kind of met. Besides that, there's not a lot. Clue literally gapped up there, so that was weird. But yeah, Clue's going okay. No, still seeing around that 220 area. Drug, we could take a look at. Yeah, by all means, if there's stuff that people want me to look at. Drug's looking pretty good, actually. 130 to 150, and it looks like it wants to keep going. I'm gonna jump in on drug. So we're looking at about a 150 entry, hopefully. We're gonna go for 175 with a 145. I'm gonna give it 5 cents. This thing is leaving us behind. This one's a bit risky, but so that makes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're on 9 trades now. So this will be our we got one more after this. We're at 235 from a 220-ish entry on no. Someone asked a question. I missed it. What was it? Clue, I am in at 114. And then on no, we're going to be taking some profit. We did hit a high there of almost 240. Still in sun. Yeah, it looks like it's looking like it's bottoming out, but it's getting so dangerously close to that stop loss, it kind of makes me a little uneasy. Clue back down a little bit, but we did hit 119 there, which is actually really close to PT. So we should think about taking some profits here. Some profits on Clue 120-ish. So anywhere around there, just make sure you secure something. Sun down to 23. It's going to be stopping you out now if you were holding that entire time. Unless you have a different stop, of course. Drug's at 163, so we're doing pretty well on drug. We hit 165. It's a good area to take some profits. trying to switch up the lingo on my alerts, right? I'm trying to say I'm taking some profits instead of like actually putting out the alert for other people to do it because I could get myself in trouble with that. So I'm trying to not do it. It's very hard sometimes. AAOI might be turning around. I kind of hope not because I don't want to have to start calling out AAOI. It's a lot of mouth power, I guess, to say that. Although their real name isn't much better. Applied Optoelectrics. Yeah. Yeah, this is all vowels. It's kind of weird. I like things that are easy, like Sun or Drug. Even Clue's not bad. SJ's easy. No is easy. But no, you gotta go with like AAOI. Is it good to enter no again? You definitely could. Yeah, I mean we're seeing that bottom of 220. It hasn't broken down yet. You could just have a tight stop like 215. But yeah, get in around 220. Try to scalp, 10, 15 cents off that. It should be easy money, unless it drops, of course. But it should be pretty easy. Drugs hitting 166. You'll put an arrest warrant on them, yeah. I will let you know. I think drug might go higher here, but I'm glad we secured somewhere around 165. Just because like these wicks are very, very large here, and that's not necessarily what we want to see. That's a lot of downward pressure, so we're kind of banking on this next candle to kind of tell us that it's not true and it's going up, and that's what it's doing so far. Sure you are. Shame no buying in, no. You're not buying in it? I only got one trade left. I need to make sure it's like a good one, you know? You think Sun's gonna curl? It could curl. It's below that 200 EMA, so the price action is probably gonna snap back to it, but we'll have to see. Clue, we're still holding on to a little bit. We're still holding on to a little bit of Clue. We're holding on to a little bit of Drug. We're holding on to a little bit of No. We could open up a full another position of one of these. We'll see, though. We'll see. I don't really want to open up another one on Drug yet because it's looking like it's topping out just very, very slowly. Got up to 168 there. No's looking half decent. I do think this is going to turn around. I think No's going to be the winner here, so I'm going to go ahead and dump the rest into No around 220 again. I want to hit like 250 on it ultimately with a 210 stop. So we're going to put that stop right there, 210. So it's kind of in a safe spot, but also really not. Level 2's going nuts on it. Yeah, I bet. This could be a winner today. It could come back. I just don't want to play it. I don't like the name. Clue's looking half decent. Sun is, yeah, maybe it'll curl up. It's kind of hard to say at this point. All right, let's see. Sun might be turning around. Clue looks like it's turning around. AAOI is not doing that. It's kind of just, I don't know, is this a dead cat bounce? Like it looks like a pretty dramatic one then, but it hasn't broken a new high here, so I guess that's still what it would be classified as. No, still seeing around 230. Drug looking like it's pushing to new highs here. Almost seeing that 170. So I guess we're gonna have to hold on a little bit longer, and maybe we'll see that 175. Getting there anyway. Nice and slow. We still have half an hour. We're out of trade, so we're just gonna be doing calls after this, but how many calls? I'm not actually sure. We don't have a whole lot to look at. We got IPW popping up. It really depends on the trade. If it's something that looks like it could go further, so AOE's at $3. Oh, that's not nothing new. I thought at $3 was breaking what it had already gotten to. It depends on what the trade looks like and what I expect the first bump. Where something like Clue, if I was like in at 113 or 111 or 112 or something like that, maybe at like 117, 118, I'm only taking out like 25% just to kind of be safe. Because like it's been fairly consistently hitting at least 120. So it depends on what the stock is looking like. There's really no hard set rule on it. Beats moving again. I want to look at IPW first. Okay, now that's nothing. So beat. Yeah, beat's not looking too bad. It's like respecting lines from yesterday. Yeah, even this looks not yeah, it's not looking too great. Yeah, it's a weird day. Quad witching is, a couple times a year. It's okay though. Although, I mean, like we should really just be like taking the day off on quad witching because it's kind of slow. You can't really tell what's going on half the time. Is Sun dead? It's looking pretty dead to me. I mean, the volume is really low, although it could be bottoming out here. We don't really see a whole lot in terms of support at this level, but like ultimately everything does snap back to that 200 EMA at some point or another, right? So I'm expecting that at some point it'll make its way back up to at least 1 or 24 cents, but you can never really be certain. Yeah, it could. Definitely could. Noah's almost at that 240 area. Gonna take out a little bit here. Almost typed in no. Every now and then just disconnects. Hmm. Drug dropping a tiny bit here. Beat still looking fairly decent. Red candle, but it's still full body, so. I mean, 319 is where I've got a resistance line. It's not a very strong one, but there is a little bit of resistance there, 319, so. Maybe 319 instead of 320. Oh my god, nothing's really moving. No, it's finally hitting that 240 area, but my god, 245, we could probably now we were pretty close to that on the last trade, so. Morning, you're not missing much. I gotta say, you're not missing a whole lot, so don't be sad that you came late. Actually, be sad that you came late, because I don't think we're gonna get a whole lot more else out of today. Drug hit 172, still breaking highs every now and then. No back down to that 230 area. Clue 115. Sun with absolutely no price action anymore. It's all negative. And AAOI not doing a whole lot of anything. This looks like it's getting ready to top out. There's too many big wicks here. I can't see this pushing. Although we do have that support line of VWAP right here. Most of the bodies are seeing above it, so that's a good sign. So, like 50-50. I think it's a little overextended right now, though. So I think it could be a while. Oh. Let's see, what's beat doing? 112. All right, so it hasn't gone any higher. Drugs back to 170. Nose continuing its drop back down to that 220 level. I had to actually scroll to get to the bottom of SJ. What does that drop today? It's going from a high here of $6.11 all the way down to like just basically $4. That would have been a good short. That would have been a really good short. Blue on its way back up again. Sun slowly curling, it looks like. Still seeing downward pressure on all these candles, which is not very good. Yeah, I don't know if it's going 320. It looks like it's topping out. It didn't even break the 200 EMA here, so probably not. Probably coming back down from here. Am I going to get back into no at 220? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it, like, if it looks like it might turn around that 220 area, I'll probably jump in. Besides that, though, I'm not really, we'll have to see, because this was a pretty big red candle. This one's a fairly decent sized red candle, too. I mean, we saw some big ones over here anyway, so shouldn't be too scared about it, but we are past that first half hour now, and things are gonna, usually they start to slow down, so I'm anticipating that they're going to be at least fairly slow here. Although I do think that there's a good chance that no picks back up. And I think throughout the day, no could be a definite winner because we are seeing it. Oh, hey, the pre-market data actually loaded in properly. That's weird. I don't know when it did that, but that took a while. But yeah, we're near that low. We're actually near a low of like a little while ago. Yeah, it's iffy. It's very iffy. But in any case, getting around 220 to 225 is probably the safest place on the stock to get in, and then riding it up to about that, 240, 245 area would be best. Sun is curling back up. We're seeing a small increase in volume. We're just hitting that MACD threshold. It looks like it's crossing so far. We could see a retracement here, though. Clue heading down a little bit. No heading up. Drug looks like it might bounce off VWAP and continue going, which is something we would be kind of hoping for at this point. And beat does not look like it's going much further. IAO or AAOI, wow, that is hard to say, is taking up most of the momentum alerts, but it's also not really going anywhere, which is very unfortunate. We'd have to see some like good price action out of this. Well, it looks like it's hitting at 200 right now, so if it can break through that 200, 219 should be very easy. Or 319, sorry, not 219. All right, broke through this 319, broke through the support there too, or the resistance there too. So you're at 321. Definitely a good place to take some profits. I cannot see this running up higher right this second. It's going to have to fall back down and retest. And it keeps going. All right. Right through the next area of resistance. Got lots of buyers stacking up, actually. Not seeing a wall of sellers yet. Well, you got your 319, so make sure you take some profits there. Still looking pretty bullish, but the buyers are starting to disappear here a little bit. Can't see where they're at. Ooh, lots of sellers. 323. $324, yeah. Big resistance at 330? Probably. Yeah, I could see 330 being a pretty decent resistance. I'm looking to see where those buyers are sitting. Looks like they're sitting down here around 317, but I mean, honestly, you might see more buyers coming in around that 200 EMA at 313. Hey, there you go. Is that pounds? No, that's euros. Never mind. Are you in, where are you from? You're French, right? Don't you guys use francs? or I guess they don't offer that as a currency on exchanges. Francs. Isn't that what you guys use for money? You guys use euro. Where did I hear francs? What currency is that? That sounds like a French thing. 325. Let's see if we can break higher. Last night's dinner? No, no. I don't like francs. It's too vinegary. I'm a sriracha kind of person. ADTX on a 50% bounce or drop. Let's take a look. I'll just open up a new chart. There we go. I knew somewhere had a currency called francs. I just wasn't sure where. I don't do forex or anything, so I don't know a whole lot about currencies. Oh, really? Interesting. Mark does everything, yeah. What do I think about a bounce? Sorry, what was the news on this one? I could probably just look it up. So that's going to play a factor in my decision making here on ADTX. All right, let's see. September 16th shares drop after public offering. Right, at $6, right? So yeah, it's a public offering at $6. Likely you'll probably see this come back up to around $6 then. I would say you're gonna have a hard resistance at $6. I wouldn't try to swing it past that for sure. But besides that, I mean, you might be able to make some cash on it up to that point. But yeah, I can't see this ever going past $6 for the public. Public offerings like pretty much ruin a stock when you offer it at a price that's lower than the current price. Like it takes forever for that stock to recover from that. So I wouldn't expect to get higher than 6. AOI is looking pretty good. We'll see when it hits 328 or 330. I think it's if you're not in it, definitely wouldn't be suggesting to get in it now, but if you are in it, good job. What's a euro worth nowadays compared to the US dollar? You're all out? Good. Good, good. Yeah. That's a good move. I think there's only a little bit of room here up to about 330 where it might get rejected. We have one more resistance at 333. And then you might start to see some at like 340 and then about 350, but I don't think it's going to get that high. I think it's going to have to definitely have a retracement here. See here. SJ continues to drop below $4. That's a nasty looking stock. Drug going for that VWAP bounce. We did discuss that Drug was going to go for a VWAP bounce. It's almost 10 cents up again. What do I think Drug will hit? I'm really hoping 175 at least. Beyond that, I'm not entirely sure. Like what were we playing this at earlier, right? Like it's been pretty high before. We saw that up to $3 and even higher. So it could start to reach up that high again. Let's look at the 1 hour time frame. Yeah, okay, so we've broken through a lot of resistance. We might come up into some more resistance around 170. Yeah, 170, and then beyond that, we might hit 178 with some more resistance. Then we're probably looking at 190 for more resistance. So I mean, like, there's gonna be levels that we need to watch for. 175-ish is gonna be one of them, and then probably 190. Upper bands at 184. Wait, your upper band's at 184? What kind of bands are you using? Clue's looking good. Yeah, Clue's not looking bad. It's got a nice consolidation. It is heading higher. MACD's positive. I would like to see some more volume. That's it. Oh, Keltner. That's why. Got it. Got it. No's looking pretty good too. We did hit up to that 240 level again. I have a little bit in. No, I don't have one left. I got one. Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No, I'm 10. So I'm out of trades now. But we do have a little bit left in no. We have a little bit left in drug still. We got a little bit left in Clue. That's it. And our Sun trade wasn't good, so we cut that one. But we do have a look. We have some runners. Might make calls on other stuff, but we have to actually see some stuff that's good. I mean, AAOI is looking good, but again, we're up really high, and there's not really a way to determine like whether or not you should jump in this high or not, especially with it being so overextended. I don't think there's a good enough value to make it worth the risk. So we'll just leave that be for now. Drug 165 again, heading back down to VWAP. If you are going to take a trade, I think the drug could be definitely a good thing off VWAP. Bounced once, probably going to bounce again. Although we have to watch that MACD very carefully when we do it. We don't want that touching that zero threshold when it's bouncing. Took all losing trades today. That's, well, it's quad witching, so I'm not like entirely surprised. It was kind of a tough day. You definitely had to watch your trades closely and take profits very quickly. And honestly, would not be surprised if I didn't make a whole lot. Made $190, so percentage-wise so far, that is 64%. So it's not that bad. We did take a big loss on Sun, though. It was 4%. $0.03 of profit. I mean, like, I guess green is green. That's, it's something. 3 out of 4 for you. Not bad. That's not bad. 28 ounce. You're on a roll here. Isn't that like a couple days in a row? Clue stopped you out, missed others. Yeah. Yeah. And that's not a bad thing. I mean, when you know the market's not going to be great, sometimes it's a better decision to scale down unless you start seeing stuff that's actually running and, it's looking very good and stuff starting to turn around, then maybe start sizing back up. But on a day like today, we took our chances early on because that was when the market was moving and we kind of knew that things were going to slow down. And then it being quad witching and all that kind of fun stuff. It just isn't the market to mess around in too long. You think it's going to go to 360? It could. You're getting into yesterday's aftermarket levels at that point. So there's definitely a good chance. No, still sitting there. Drug still sitting here. Oh my God, we've got all these like runners doing nothing yet. There's got to be some stuff we can start closing out here. Hang on, let me take a look at where we're at with stuff. What is Clue at? 119. So we're still sitting around 119. No, 238. We're at 234 currently, so that's not going anywhere. And then drug 170. We're basically at 170. So yeah, no point in closing stuff out right now. We will have to see. Okay, drug 170. Gone. 175. It's not hard. It's right there. I can see it. AAOI is going forward again. It's almost that 340 level. It's just breaking through all these levels. It's so overextended, but it's not slowing down. 173. Okay, we're touching a new high, right? Right? Is that a new high? No, it's not a new high. We were very close, though. Almost got it. Oh, that was pretty bullish. Come on, just volatility. That's all we need. A little bit more, up to 175. There's so many sellers on 173, though. Everyone's selling at 173. That's probably the best place to get out then. I don't know if we'll get better than 173 in the next, couple minutes here. I would obviously like to, but we need to break VWAP on Clue as well. Sun's still slowly curling. Man, we missed AAOI. That would have been a really good one. Wasn't a lot of warning, though. I mean, basically, you would have been taking the cross on that 200 as a bullish move. No, what was that at 313? That's a pretty good range. That's not bad. That would have been pretty decent. Drug dropping a little bit, no dropping a little bit. SJ continuing its drop. It's at like 380. ADTX hitting its low here. It looks like it's holding. Yeah, it's holding fairly well so far. Drug down a little bit. Three for three so far. Way to go. Yeah, I wish you took your own advice. Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, someday you guys you'll be smarter than me. You'll be making all your own trades and they'll be better than me. That's what happens. The next generation of traders will always be better than the last. September 26th QQQ puts are up 330%. Not bad. Not bad. That's pretty good. Clue should move up soon. I would agree with you. I think it should. We're hitting 120, so that's something slightly new. Hopefully we can keep that momentum going. Nose a little bit of a move up here. I still think this is going to hit 350 pretty easily. Or 250, sorry. And then we have AAOI here with a little bit of a drop. It looks like on the 5 minute, it's got a nice amount of room for a pullback here down to about 312. Yeah, Clue looks like it's on its way up on the 5 minute. We have a nice consolidation here and curl up happening. So on the 5 minute, that's looking good. On Drug, nice consolidation on the 5 minute. This looks like it could go either way though. 120 wall, yeah. Yeah, I would expect about a 120 wall. No, down a little bit. Drug's bouncing off that VWAP again, so if you were hoping to get into VWAP, now would be the time. Or into Drug, now would be the time. Can't get into VWAP. Alright, Clue, let's go. Got 10 minutes left, and I'd like to close out some of these. Hopefully for some green, some extra green. There we go. There's Clue pouncing up a little bit, 122 there. That's a good place to take a little bit more profit. Might even see a little bit more of a curl up here. We could see this hitting up to maybe 124. If it breaks 124, it could really start running. AAOI back up to that 330 level. It's got a nice curl to it so far. Let's see. 1.6 SL. Depends where you got in. See, I was in at 153, so 145 is still my SL for this, but I mean, like 160 seems to make a lot of sense. I would say, yeah, if it breaks VWAP, you probably want to be out. You obviously want to give it a little bit of room. So we see it got down to 161 last time, so I'd expect that 161 would be the lowest we would see. So yeah, 160 would make sense. If it breaks 160, you definitely want to be out of it. No, still dropping a little bit. Clue hit that 122 level, nothing more so far, and AAOI is kind of struggling. Okay, so drug is breaking VWAP here. Getty. Let's take a look at Getty. Range is okay. I don't like that the 200 EMA and VWAP are swapped around, but that's okay. It just means it's been a little bit more bearish. You could look for a VWAP bounce off this and see if that holds. So you'd be looking to get in around 1060, bring it up to like 11, I don't know, 1115, 1120, something like that. Could be a half decent play. Although it didn't bounce down last time, so you might have to get in around 1075. Or maybe even a tad higher, 1080. If it's not breaking new lows, I mean, that's obviously a good thing. You don't want to see this break into a new low. So if you're not playing it as a support bounce, you'd probably be playing it as just a general uptrend. So yeah, you'd be looking to get in around here and ride it up. HDSN. This one looks like a potential bounce for sure. It's holding on that 200 EMA really nicely, so definitely potential for a bounce. Volume is pretty slim on this one, but that doesn't mean it's not going to move. It just means it's going to move a little bit slower. And the range on it's the big problem for me, with only 30 cents of room between like the top here and like, okay, maybe 35 cents. You're not looking at a whole lot of profit at an $8 level for, that kind of movement. So you'd be kind of holding it most of the day to get like 30 cents out of it. TCRT. Okay, I like the price point it's at. $2 to 260 is not terrible. It's been on an uptrend most of the day. All right, so it fell to here. This should have some support level to it, like right there. So you'd be looking for support here. You'd probably see some support around there. And below that, you're probably looking at some support around like this level here. But yeah, if it holds here, I mean, you could definitely look at getting around 254. Or maybe 255, 256, something like that, and take it up. And if it drops, you probably only want like a 250 stop. Probably wouldn't want to put more than that unless you want to have a stop down below VWAP here. So you'd be looking at like a 242 stop, but that's just going to be too much room, I think, from 250 or 255 or whatever. So yeah, you'd most likely be with a 250 stop from wherever you get in around here. Looks okay. KNW not doing anything. Clue still has yet to break that 122. Drug continues to drop, so as we talked about, if it breaks that 160 level, you're probably going to want to cut your remainder. And then TCRT looks like it's doing okay so far. It is bearish right now on that MACD, but that could turn around pretty quickly. But besides that, since we're basically out of everything, I'm just going to close out Clue. And no, it's just not going anywhere fast enough for me. So let's close it all out. And we'll go over to the money board. So today we made $195, which honestly is better than yesterday, surprisingly, even though today seemed a lot slower and we had probably less options, I feel. But it's looking okay. 66%, so we did actually do better than yesterday. We took even less losses, so I'm anticipating that our win rate actually went up a little bit. Yep, 77.3%, so we're taking more wins than usual, which is good. But yeah, it's not looking too bad. We hit, we almost ended this month, or not this month, this week on $7,000, so we're almost up 2K from the start of this challenge. Definitely slow growing, but we're getting there. Do you think Sun's going back to 0.24? That's a hard one. 0.24 is pretty high up there. I think ultimately it will, but if you're holding from 0.24 or above, it's looking pretty risky. Dollar-wise, let's take a look at the position sizes. So, I mean, we could look at Clue, which was took 300 shares at $1.13. So you're looking at like what, $330 a position, something like that. About 330, 150 on a 230 stock, 300 on $1.14. Yeah, I would say, yeah, I'd say about 320, something like that. You would get in now? Yeah, I mean, if you get in now at point, I'd say try to hit like 0.21. If you can hit 0.21 for an entry and then have like a 0.20 stop loss, that might work out. I wouldn't risk more than a cent down here because obviously that's going to be percentage wise still pretty big. And you never really know how far down something like this could go. Like you still have room on this to come back down to 0.20, right? You could probably even go lower, but yeah. I mean, honestly, like ultimately, I would be waiting to see if it hits 0.20 to buy in. But that could just never happen, right? So if you want to take a risky trade, I'd go for 0.21 with a 0.20 stop. If you're feeling lucky, you could go for a 0.19 stop because that's less likely to hit, but that's going to be a huge stop. That's like 8%. So 0.21 is the support. Yeah. Yeah, you probably have a little bit of support at that 0.21 level. So yeah, I would try to get in around 0.21, so even around here, whatever. And then a 0.20 stop loss would be the kind of trade that I'd be looking to take on it. But that's only if you're going to be sitting here all day, because this looks like it could take all day to start moving again, or at least the lunch hour. But yeah, hopefully that works out. Clue looks like it actually did break into that 124, almost 125 level, of course, like 2 minutes after I cut it. It is what it is. We made our money today, so I'm not really worried, but that would have been nice. But yeah, hopefully besides that, you guys made some money today, or at least didn't take too much losses. Um, I think we have the master meeting today. It's Friday this week, right? We did it Saturday last week. Let's see here. I was on the 10th. The 10th was Saturday. Yeah, so we have our master meeting today. So I will see you guys today at 12 p.m. PST. It is for our mentorship program for day trading. We meet up once a week. Know you? Okay, sounds good. Yep, I will see the rest of you guys on Monday. So take care, guys. No, it's fine. You can go. You show up to every single one. So if you miss one, it's not the end of the world. Hopefully somebody shows up, but we'll see. I don't know who I'm going to talk to, but or have my meaningless conversations with, but that's okay. Trying to not make you feel bad about missing it. I'll just sit there all lonely. All right, sounds good. At least I got somebody. Somebody's willing to show up. Yeah, pretty much. All right, later, guys. I'll see you guys later.